G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the 40th anniversary G1 reissue of Blaster and Steeljaw. So as you can see, Blaster is in his boombox mode and Steeljaw is in his lion mode, which is how I display them. Now I will start by saying that you may notice if you have a look at my Soundwave review that Soundwave has two cassettes. He has Laserbeak and Ravage. Blaster only gets Steeljaw, which would be nice to have either gotten Ram Horn or Ejector Rewind. But considering the size of Blaster compared to Soundwave, I would say that is why Soundwave got two and Blaster got one. In saying that also, I will mention this now. So a couple of weeks ago on my Soundwave video, I got a comment from a gentleman going by the name of Dangerous Days 2052. And he said that there was something that just didn't look right with the Soundwave. And I said, well, maybe colors and things like that. And he came up with, and sticker detail, basically. So yes, admittedly, these toys are more cartoon accurate, but it also removes a lot of the sticker detailing. So if you had G1 Blaster when you were a kid and you're looking at it going, there's something missing, chances are it's the sticker detailing. So there we go. We'll put Steeljaw off to the side for a moment and have a look at Blaster. He does look good in his boombox mode. You can use all the different buttons. That's supposed to be, I think, the eject button. Nope. Sure, that's the eject button. Okay. I'm just going to have to pop that out manually. It's supposed to push out itself. There it is. So the left one is your eject button, but mine's really stiff. So you can hold cassettes. He will hold blasters because Steeljaw basically is the same size as them. So there we go. So you can put them in. I will put Steeljaw in there in a minute. You do have this here, which doesn't really move, which appears to be your on and off switch. Blaster does not have volume knobs, which considering as Blaster, what do you expect? Rock and roll all the time, or at least 80s hair metal, at least from the cartoon. So there we go. So we'll put Blaster off to the side for a moment. We'll bring Steeljaw in. And as you can see, he is the lion that we all know and love. He does have closed leg syndrome, basically meaning he has difficulty standing if you start playing with these. We can do a size comparison here, and we'll do it now while I'm thinking of it. Here he is with Fans Toys. I just looked this up. Loudspeaker. So there's them together. So he's a bit bigger, but obviously much skinnier. So there is that. Ironically, he shares the same problem as Fans Toys amplifier, I want to say it was, or their unicorn or their ram horn, in which case I couldn't get the back legs split. And this guy doesn't split the legs regardless. So there we go. So we'll get this guy transformed so we can actually put him on with Blaster. So yes, there's parts forming. This is a G1 toy. So what do you expect? So let me think if I remember how this works. So you're going to slide that in, and we're going to bring this over. It isn't difficult. I'm just trying to remember all the steps. That's all. So we're going to bring this back and this up, which mine's rather tight, and that's going to fill in this little groove near his face, like so. And then we want to slide that in, and we want to bring, I'm pretty sure these feet fold back. No, it folds in as far as they'll go, and that should fill in the groove down there. And as long as everything is all nice and snug and tight, there is Steeljaw in his tape mode, and if you can get that open, it just slides in there. Actually, this might be one of the ones that actually has specific. Nope. Come on. Oh, that's not fitting too well, is it? I think I got it. A little bit iffy, but there we go. So there is he, even though he's upside down. So then you can hit the eject button and pull him back out again. So let's get size comparison for both of these. I forgot to do the size comparison with Steeljaw, but we'll get back to that in a second. Here he is with Windblade. So he's, decent size. He's thinner than Windblade, but he's pretty decently big. And we'll leave that for the time being. I do not have Blaster transformed, so Blaster. I don't have Soundwave transformed, so that's why he's not here. Actually, I'll tell you what, he is in alt mode. So give me a second. Here we go. There is Soundwave with Blaster, and as you can see, the plastic difference definitely makes the fact that Soundwave came with 2 while Blaster came with 1 cassette kind of make a lot more sense. So there we go. So let's get Blaster transformed, and then I'll fiddle with Steeljaw, get him back into his robot mode. So what we're going to do is going to slide this across. You're going to extend the legs. It will just sort of slide out. This is going to go into this groove. If this is pushed far enough down, it will go into this groove. You're going to pull this down both sides, and he's going to get a little bit tall. You're going to flip his feet down like so. That gives us our legs, and I'll just put this camera up a little bit because, like I said, he is going to get tall. Now, you see these grooves, these they're the same thing as what Soundwaves is. But what you can do is you can pull these out, and you have, I'll do it best this way, you can see these metal bars. So once again, if you had G1 Blaster, let me know if it had the metal bars in it, because it just seems like a modern invention. Now, of course, you can flip them out like this if you want to make it easier for the arms, but that's up to you. I don't think it really needs it. You're going to pull down, so you have your full arm there, and flip down the switch. It gives us our hand. Same on the other side. Flick it down. Then we just flip up the head and rotate. And there is Blaster in his robot mode. And while I'm at it, I'll just put him off to the side for a second. And we'll get Steeljaw back in his robot mode. So flip out the legs, flip down the feet, come back this way, flip down the legs, and sort of push it forward. So that all lines up. You want to just flick the tail, just fold that back. It can go further down if you want. I like mine straight. We want to pull out the head, and of course you can fold that up a little bit more, although it does make his head look like he's pointing down, and just play with the feet until he's angled in a way that he's not going to fall over. And while I'm at it, there he is with Windblade. So there we go. So now I've remembered to do that. And of course, then we can take these pieces, and as long as his hind is pulled back far enough, you can just plug his wings back in as far as they'll want to go. And voila, all done. All right, so we can arm up Blaster as well. And of course, his cassette still works. You can take his Blaster and put it in Blaster's hand. That's a lot of blasters, and he is all armed up and ready to fight some Decepticons. So yeah, he doesn't look half bad. like I said, if you had a G1 figure of this guy and he doesn't look right, it's once again the missing sticker detail. I actually looked up the G1 figure, and he is missing some stickers here. These were something else. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other stickers that I'm missing, but yeah, it's meant to be more representative of the Transformers the movie. Despite the fact it says 40th anniversary, they are using the ideals and whatnot of the Transformers the movie reissued line, so that's why the colors are a bit different. Stickers are missing, but yeah, good call out to Dangerous Days 2052 for pointing out something that wasn't quite obvious to me. So there we go. He is very flat, and his head is very small, but he does what he's supposed to do. He's Blaster. He looks cool. Once again, I got this guy mainly for boombox mode, but in the same time, I've been getting all these reissues for the simple fact being that I want even if they're just reissues, they're not the original 89, 83, 84, 85, 86 release. I just want a nice G1 representation of the original toy line. And this guy really does do it for me. I remember a friend of mine had Blaster. I never had him, but yeah, he looks cool. As for articulation, his head can do it for 360. He can look up if you want to use that transformation joint. Arms can do a full 360, even though I don't feel too comfortable. I don't feel like it's going to break, but at the same time, I don't feel overly comfortable about it. His arms can go out if that's something you want to do. Also, if you want to clean that up, you can push that in so it's actually tighter against the body. But I just like the way that it gives it a little bit more oomph on the sides. There's no elbow joint. There is no bicep rotation apart from shoulder rotation. Hands don't rotate. There is no fingers unless you want to count up and down. He has no waist swivel. Shock. I know. G1 figure with no waist swivel. Just get these out of the way. You do get out to the side, but that's due to transformation. There is no forward and back, and I can feel it there that there's nothing there, and I'm not forcing nothing. He has no hip rotation. He has no knee. You can press that up if you want to get rid of that gap. So his legs are a little bit cleaner, but that's up to you. I'm assuming he's supposed to be more like that, but to each their own. His knees can go out, although you're going to start hitting the handle if that's something you want to do. And feet can go up and down, and that's pretty much it. He's a brick. He's a G1 brick. I don't know why you're all of a sudden leaning forward so much. Something's probably not lined up properly. How's that? There we go. My foot wasn't properly in place. So there we go. He only comes with one blaster, so yeah, there's that. Of course, once again, there he is with his Steeljaw. But we can do another size comparison, which I won't laugh. I found this funny because I have, if you haven't seen the review, and I'll put a link, KFC's Transistor, which is their take on Masterpiece Blaster. And I am 99% sure that even if I took him out of his A stance, he's still not going to be taller than the G1. So if I put them in a little bit, there you go. The third-party figure is shorter than the official reissue. I find that incredibly hilarious. I really, 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 really do. Now I'll try to get his legs back where they were. And I won't lie, he was a bit of a pain to get off my shelf because he's behind a lot of stuff. So there is that. We have MP10, Optimus Prime, and he's, at least from my viewpoint and the camera, lift his head up a little bit. He's taller than Prime. He's taller than MP10. So the only way it'd be shorter if I knocked down those knees, but that's amazing. He's taller. He's taller than MP10. Sorry, no MP44, obviously, because I don't have one. Because I wasn't going to spend the amount of money, and I was perfectly happy with MP10. However, we can do one other size comparison I wasn't going to do, but I thought, you know what, screw it, let's do it. Here is the 40th anniversary reissue of Soundwave. And you can see the size difference there if you didn't see it before. So once again, this is why I'd say Soundwave has 2 cassettes and Blaster has 1, because Soundwave is using a lot less plastic, and the plastic that they would have been saving with Blaster by making him smaller, they used to create another cassette. But here I am hoping that maybe one day Hasbro or Takara will reissue the other cassette bots. I'm currently still trying to find a rat bat for my MP13. So there we go. So yeah. So if you... Oh, hang on. You know what we didn't do? I jumped the gun. I absolutely jumped the gun. My apologies. We haven't even got this guy back into his boombox mode. I almost completely skipped an entire step. So we're going to take the gun out of his hand. He doesn't have anywhere to store it, so that's going into my container later. So we're going to rotate the head, and we're going to drop that back down. You can use, beg my pardon, you can use those pieces there and then slide the arm up and then push it in. Or you can do what probably everybody did as a kid, just push it all up. And then it goes. We'll flick up feet. We will rotate out. We're going to get the handle out first. We're going to rotate up again and get the handle out. I'm going to sort of push in to the crutch. So this is all solidified. None of this tabs in anywhere. It's just the handle that holds all this in place. So we're going to rotate that up and push in. Rotate up and push in. Point the camera down a little bit. Line those up. Slide that across. And now Blaster is back in his boombox mode. So there we go. So now we can try this again. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. But apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.